Two of the final 8 teams remaining in Division 4 meet today in Athens for the right to keep their hoop dreams alive with a trip to the state semifinals. As number 4 Maysville looks to make the Final Four for a second consecutive year against a streaking River Valley squad in search of their first ever regional title. It's live and free boys tournament hoops on a Sunday afternoon. We've got pregame coverage and your opening tip-off from the Convocation Center all coming up next. You're watching high school tournament basketball 100% live and free thanks to all of our generous sponsors. Please support those who support your local athletes.
You have better things to do than to job hunt or scramble to find your next great hire. So let Spherion do it. We say local is our superpower because we live and work where you live and work. We know the Mid-Ohio job market, and we're locally owned. so you won't find a partner who's more engaged and literally invested in your success. If you're ready for something better, start with Spherion. Visit us online at midohiojobs.net or call 419-747-7479.
Every time that we walk in, we know we're going to walk into a place that's very clean, and when we walk in, we have a professional environment to come to. The reliability of Pinnacle is always on the spot. We've been with them 16 years so far. They're committed, they are professional, they are very transparent with their pricing, and they excel at meeting every goal and every need we have.
Welcome to Marion County Now, the heartbeat of our neighborhood, the fountain of our news. We're local, we're pertinent, and we're all about you. We're dedicated to keeping you in the loop, involved, and linked with the community. And the cherry on top, our service doesn't cost a dime. Marion County Now, our neighborhood, our news.
It's the Mathews pregame show, the area's #1 dealer with over 800 automobiles on the lot. And there's way more in attendance here today inside of the Convocation Center, including yours truly, Brian Skowronski, along with my good friend Mark Bollinger. And what a great setting for a regional championship game. Big-time atmosphere here. A lot of people waiting outside to get inside of the building today, and obviously a lot on the line for two programs that haven't been to this point in the tournament very often, Mark, so just all around some pretty good feels and vibes here on a Sunday afternoon.
Well, you have two communities that support their schools. Maysville has made this run last year, River Valley making the deep run in tournament this year, but both of these communities really get out and support their basketball squads, and that is why we have a great crowd on hand tonight. Look for it to be loud in here. It should be exciting as these two teams get after it.
Talked about Maysville and the fact that they were here just a season ago seeking that return trip to the state Final Four after breaking through, and they've got a lot of pieces back from that team that went all the way to the Division II state championship game last year. So this is a team that got a ton of experience, and they're continuing the ride and the journey and starting to set a new standard for that program under head coach Dave Brown.
Yeah, Maysville did lose some key ingredients to that Final Four and eventually state runner-up team last year, but they bring back two guys who were instrumental in making that deep run, in Gator Nichols, number 0, and Jordan Watson, number 24. Those two guys played critical roles last year, but as a group, they gained a lot of experience during that tournament run. So even though the majority of their team are juniors, they have some big-time experience on a big stage.
You mentioned Gator Nichols, the junior, a soon-to-be All-Ohio, and no doubt about that. He's really taken over the scoring role for Alex Bobb, who graduated last year, who was a very potent, effective weapon. And he's just a really fun player to watch with a great name. And this is the kid, he's stirring up the drink all the time for them, offensively, defensively, when he's out of the game on the bench, which is rare.
Well, the Gator is going to be looking to go into attack mode today, just like he does every other game. He is a guy who can score in so many different ways. He can step in, and I say step in, I mean step inside the gym and be in range. He can get to the basket when he gets there. He has the ability to finish with some acrobatic moves. And then as soon as you start overplaying him, he's going to find the open shooter. He has that knack of finding an open guy. Just an all-around outstanding basketball player. He's a little bit frail in his frame. He played football this year just to try to toughen himself up a little bit, to gain some strength, gain some toughness, and it has resulted in an outstanding season, upping his average to over 26 points a game. He's going to be instrumental for this Maysville team today.
Yeah, right around double what he was scoring last year. So this kid has taken a huge step in the right direction, and they still get him back for one more season in his last campaign as a senior. But on the other side, the River Valley Vikings. First trip to the regional final here, Mark, since you gave me the date. I mean, that was when my mama was born. So, I mean, Nancy still looks very young, but it's been a few years is what I'm trying to say. So they haven't been to this stage very often, but they are coming with a ton of momentum right now, 17 consecutive wins. And then I think they showed a little bit of guts and determination in that regional semifinal victory here at Ohio University a couple of nights ago. Something that you like to see, a little medal from your team during the tournament run.
Well, the way I described it the other night was gritty. The reality is we've seen this River Valley team dominate throughout the season, but the last 3 tournament games, they have not played up to the level that we are accustomed to. They struggled in the first half against Eastmoor. They struggled in the first half against Buckeye Valley. And then the other night, in all honesty, Unioto had that game in hand and kind of gave it to River Valley, but the Vikings did what good teams are supposed to do. When you get an opportunity, you take advantage of it, and that's what they did. They capitalized on Unioto's mistakes, took advantage, showed some grittiness and toughness, and you found a way to win. And the good part is you haven't played well for the last 3 games, but you've advanced and moved on. I'm thinking the Vikings are due to break out today.
And if they're going to do it, it's going to be because in part of the leadership of Chase Ebert, led the MOAC in assists this year. He may lead the entire country in charges taken during his career. He's a true glue guy. He's a leader out there on the floor. And you guys kind of look alike, Mark, so he brings a little bit of swagger and suaveness to the floor as well.
Well, yeah, in full transparency, he's a distant relative. But, with Chase, he'll be the first to tell you, he did not play well the other night in the semifinal game. It was probably the worst game all season that he has played. But you talked about the charges. 4th quarter, late in the game, steps over, takes a huge charge, gets River Valley the basketball, momentum switch, River Valley goes down, gets some points. But he is going to be crucial today. He needs to play well if River Valley's going to win.
And he typically does in the big games. That's when Chase Ebert saves his most exciting, exotic flavor is for the big moments. So certainly Maysville's going to want to try to key on him here today, but there's a lot more than just Chase. Obviously, there's plenty of guys for the average in double figures, but 2 kids that are going to be back next season are actually the 2 leading scorers rowing the Viking ship this year. The exact same number of points so far for Chase and Carter, but they do it in different ways, of course. Potent 3-point shooter on one side and Chase Smith, and then on the other side for Carter Myers, he can knock him down from long range, but he's a bit more of a slasher, and on the other side of the floor too, he's become a really fantastic shot blocker with great timing.
Absolutely, and Chase Smith is another guy that's just struggled to shoot the ball of late. He's one that if he can get going tonight and knock in 3 or 4 threes, it will completely change how this River Valley offense looks. And then Carter Myers, he was the hero the other night.
Yes.
Being real, he stepped up, played the game of his life so far in his career, 21 points, 12 rebounds, went 4 of 6 from 3-point range, and was a huge difference in the second half. The other night, another guy we didn't highlight but who got River Valley off to a decent start and kept them around early was Sawyer Weston. I think he had 13 points in the first half. So Chase Ebert has been the focal point as Player of the Year, but these other guys around him have been so important, and they're going to need all of them to play well tonight.
And that's what's fun about this team is it seems like at different times on different nights, different dudes step up in different moments. And Sawyer Weston, he seems like he's kind of a first quarter type of cat where he comes out looking for a shot and then maybe defers or allows others to get theirs from there.
It does, and that's what has made River Valley so hard to guard is they have so many different guys that can go off at any time and be that leading scorer. It makes it difficult for teams to be able to guard them.
And now we'll honor America as we get ready for tip-off here inside of the Convocation Center. Some chance of USA now cascading down from the River Valley side as you can just feel the energy in here. It's palpable on both sides. A whole lot of blue out here in the arena today, and just the perfect setting. I already touched on it, but this is a very cool gym. This is my first time actually getting to step foot in here, and this is as perfect of a place as I can think for a big-time game like this, Mark.
Oh, it's beautiful, and there have been so many great games played in this arena throughout the years. You know, I know even going back to the 70s, I remember, you know, when I was a little guy, my mom and dad bringing me down here to follow Cardington, Ridgedale, teams like that. And just, again, the amount of outstanding players that have played on this court is amazing. Today, you've got another group of young men that get to take this court with a chance to go to the Final Four.
There is your officiating crew here for this afternoon, as both teams are about to be announced over the loudspeakers. You're taking a look right now at the River Valley bench, so we'll dive into our keys to victory presented by Mathews family of dealerships. And for the Vikings, Mark, I feel like this is a team that's just got to go good old-fashioned gator hunting, man. You got to get out your crossbow or your six-shooter or whatever it is that helps you wrangle a gator. Might just need a little piece of string or whatever. I don't really know how you get gator bait, but you got to key on that guy, make sure he's locked up and caged up. You're not going to fully shut him down, but you got to do your best to make sure that he cannot just go bananas.
You have to, and that's going to fall on the shoulders to begin with of Sawyer Weston. Sawyer on Friday afternoon, they were going through stuff, and Sawyer's going to be a guy that's going to be all over him today. He's going to have to be physical. He's going to have to take away his cuts. He's going to have to take away him coming off the double screens. He's got a lot of fighting through screens to do today, so we'll see how well Sawyer can do that. And then for me, it's simple. Play to the standard. As I said, River Valley hasn't played exceptionally well the last 3 games, but they've survived and advanced. The opportunity to go to the Final Four is here. It's an opportunity River Valley hasn't had much throughout the history of River Valley basketball. With the 7 divisions, you were able to get through districts without having to face a Watterson, a Hartley, a Reedy, an Academy. The path is there. It opened up. The Vikings have taken advantage. They've stayed healthy. The opportunity is here. Let's just go to work today, blue and gold.
And here they are getting their names announced over the loudspeakers. First, it's going to be Owen Osting up off the bench. There's Sawyer. Just such a cool cat. Just seems like he's always really enjoying himself out on the floor, but he keeps it not necessarily coy, but comfortable. And, of course, Ebert, he's that confidence guy that they have on the floor, Mark.
He's the confidence guy. And, you know, you're talking about Sawyer Weston. The other night after the game, you know, they'd seen their families and stuff like that, and I'm walking through the concourse, and here comes the team, and I look up, and there's Sawyer just coming towards me. He's got his hands out, and he just has the biggest smile on his face. It was so genuine. He was so happy. This team has done so many great things this year. Let's just hope they can play the way they're capable and top it off today by punching their ticket.
But if Coach Rodney Brown's team gets beat, this is how we feel Maysville gets it done here this afternoon. Knock down some threes. That's the ultimate game changer, I think, on any given night. But this team especially, they can go off. This team set a record in a game, and Gator Nichols has the three-point shooting record for the squad. So if they can make a bunch today, could be their night.
And for Maysville, I think you'd have to defend the 3. When River Valley is at their best, they're creating live ball turnovers, converting them into points, and then making threes. This is going to be a game today where if River Valley can shoot the ball well from the perimeter, it will be a much easier task. And as I said, I think the Vikings are due just to play a great game today. Let's hope they've got it in them and can bring it out today.
Take a look at all the fan support here in the building this afternoon, making the trip to Athens. How far of a drive from River Valley is it over here?
It's just a little over 2 hours. So, yeah, it's not a bad drive at all. It's much different than it used to be. It used to be you had to take some country roads and some winding paths, but now with the interstate and the changes they've made, it's a much easier trip down here.
And especially with the bus driver that you introduced me to, I hear that he knows all the little nooks and crannies and those side roads to take.
Yeah, if you're a River Valley person, you know Larry Legend, Larry Criswell. Larry brought the Vikings down again today, and, yeah, had some time earlier joking around with Larry. He's been a guy that, gosh, going back to even when I played and before, and then when I coached, Larry was always the guy taking us on those bus trips. And he got the Vikings here, and safe and sound, and we're ready to go, I hope.
It sounded a little surprising to you, actually, that he was able to do that on the safe and sound part, at least. But he always gets to the venue.
He always gets to the venue. You never know which path you may go, but you know that it's going to be hammered down, and Larry's going to get you there.
All right, speaking of the path, while we've got a little bit extra time here, let's take a look at who's still remaining in Division 4. Obviously, you know the matchup right here, and we got word here, breaking news on the Twitter today, that the winner is going to play at Wittenberg coming up on Friday. They'll take on the victor between Wyoming and Archbishop Alter. And then you look up at the top. I mean, there's a lot of heavy hitters still in the lineup here in Division 4.
Well, yeah, Glenville was down early yesterday, came back from an 11-point deficit, beat Warrensville Heights 50-40 to advance. They're now 19-7. And then in the other regional final game at Bowling Green State University, Gates Mills Hawken came back to beat Jonathan Alder, beat the Pioneers 63-58. So it's going to be a Cleveland area matchup on that side of the bracket with Glenville and Hawken going at it, and then the winner of this game taking on Archbishop Alder or Cincinnati, Wyoming. I'm guessing it's probably going to be Kettering Alder. Archbishop Alder is really, really good.
Defending state champions of Division 2.
Yeah, and I think they're a team that is probably going to pull out a win today. But we'll see what happens. You have to get it done on the court.
Well, first they need an opponent. We got to tip things off here to try to determine one. And I don't know exactly what's going on. It looks like the scores table might have lost power right before we were going to go live.
That's what it looked like. They're over there working on it, and I think they're getting it fixed. They'll get the clock adjusted as it shows 7:58 to go. There we go, back to 8 minutes, and they bring both teams back out here, and we are finally going to tip this thing off.
Such anticipation now.
Yeah.
Let's go.
It's been a long week waiting for Thursday night semifinal game, and now for this one. I'm sure Verizon is loving my phone as it's just been blowing up from former players, former coaches. It's been a special week at River Valley.
You got to get that all-inclusive plan whenever you're going text by text.
Thank goodness.
So we are underway. It's Roehrig with the back tap. Here's Nichols getting guarded at the start here by Sawyer Weston.
And most of the action you'll see from Maysville is action that goes for Gator. He's not the main option, he is a secondary option on almost all of their sets. Weston being real physical early, trying to hold him, keep him obscured from the basket. And
foul call. Whistle came in a little bit late, but a nice aggressive take here right from the get-go by Gator. Might have forced that one up, but it leads to a couple free throws.
Yeah, and it's going to be on Osting helping over. Nichols was able to attack the outside of the knee, get towards the basket. Osting rotated over just a little late.
And that's the first point of the ball game. Your free throw zone today brought to you by the Neuromuscular Therapy. Hunter Mercer, hit him up. He's got his phone number right on there. Call him, text him, get you in, and make sure that you get the therapy you need for that spine.
Another former Viking player, Hunter Mercer. Appreciate his support.
Could not be here live and free without the support of all of our generous sponsors, including Premier Optometry Group, who has been with the Vikings all season long.
These teams are very, very similar. It's almost like a mirror image of each other. Maysville is just like River Valley on the defensive end, that on screen aways or down screens, pin downs, they'll a lot of times switch those screens. Just like there, Smith coming off of it. Shot the three off the switch.
Right back to him. He's never shy. 0 for 2 to start. And the long rebound finds its way into the hands of the Gator. Here comes Nichols on the hop.
Now you get a little bit of an ISO. Look for him to create and kick out for a three. And there's the physicality of Weston. Again, the officiating is going to be so important. The other night, they allowed Sawyer Weston to just manhandle Unioto's best player, Wilch. Sawyer's strength was so important. If they're going to call it that tight, could be a rough night for River Valley.
So 2 team fouls already, a minute and a half in as this 3 on the way. Bottoms up. It's a 5-0 lead here for Maysville.
Well, Iden was a kid that played JV last year, gained some confidence, and he has come on this year. Outstanding shooter. They say he's their best wide receiver in football. He's an athlete.
Oasting like there's a lid on the rim, and he's called for a travel. Pulled down the offensive rebounds. Tried to go up quickly, and let's see.
Yeah, just couldn't control it cleanly.
Thank you to Krista Smith and the agency, your replay sponsor here for this regional championship game.
And one advantage Maysville really has is that the way River Valley is going to guard is very similar to what they've seen all year.
Back-to-back threes now by Landon Iden.
Timeout.
Coach Rodney Brown's going to burn his first timeout.
Yeah. As I was saying, is Maysville has seen this kind of defense all season long. Teams have done this to Gator Nichols throughout the season, so this is nothing new. Trying to deny him the basketball, keep him from getting touches is something that this group is used to. So they're not going to panic when their best player can't get his hands on the basketball. For River Valley, this is just like the other night. Unioto came out, punched him in the face. Vikings just need to settle down, play through it. The next possession is the most critical. You can't play the scoreboard. You're down 8-0. It doesn't matter. Your goal is to win this possession, come down, run a good set, get the shot you want, get yourself on the board, gain some confidence, and then you can go to the other end and work on getting a stop.
Spin it back, show you that last 3-point shot, the last 6 points. 2 trifectas from that gentleman right there. He averages just a shade under 10 points per game. 2 big-time strokes here from Iden.
Maysville, 3 possessions, 3 scores. Let's see if River Valley can answer. They're going to put the ball in Weston's hands.
Smith's got a little crease. The step by, open look. He's 0 for 3 to start the night. Another rebound for Rohrig. Now the 2-man game near side. Weston nearly got a snatch on that.
And with Weston already having 1 foul, look for Gator to really attack it. Here's a handoff. When they throw at that high post, they like to go handoff or back to the post player, and there it is.
Double-digit lead right off the rip here. The dime, and Cade Rock able to splash it in.
Perfect start for Maysville. Again, River Valley's got to run the set they want, get the shot that they want.
Tipped a mile high there as Ebert trying to go to work off the screen.
And I think you may see River Valley try to get the ball to Carter Myers. He was the hero the other night. He hasn't been able to get a shot yet.
That was the intended target on that last pass from Chase. Sawyer spins, gets to his right hand.
And one thing River Valley's struggling with a little bit right now is they're finally matching up against a team that has strength and length very similar to theirs. They haven't seen this throughout the season, but Maysville has some big shot blockers, some 6'5" guys with long arms, and it's causing the Vikings a ton of issues.
And so far, Chase Smith has taken basically all the shots as they throw it into the spin cycle. 12 zip here on the Jordan Watson bucket.
Well, Watson is that second player that's so outstanding. He and Nichols have played so much basketball together.
Sawyer cannot quiet down the noise that's probably creeping in the Vikings' heads now, halfway through the first frame, still sitting on a goose egg. Here's Watson. Turns, fall away jumper. A little short.
You finally see a miss. Can the Vikings just get something easy to get some confidence? And I don't think that was the shot that Coach Brown wanted. Vikings get to the basket or get a free throw. Something to stop the momentum.
Strip and nearly off the leg of Iden, but out of bounds. Looks like Maysville will keep it.
River Valley has to be careful here. Nichols is the inbounder. Look for the ball to go back to him off of a screen.
Watson taking his time, now goes back middle, long 2. Front iron, and the rebound to Smith.
Good box out by Eli Snyder.
Tough catch coming across the middle there, and it's another turnover for the Vikings through the hands of Snyder. 3-ball Gator. Panthers keep it.
And a lot of times you see a high school player shoot an air ball and it gets in his head, it impacts him. That will not happen with Gator Nichols. Next time he gets even an inch, he's going to chuck that thing up.
Nichols with 2 points so far, both at the charity stripe. He's kind of lurking in that corner right now as Iden goes to work, and he'll draw the personal.
Well, River Valley struggled a little bit the other night against Unioto when they went straight line drive trying to get to the basket. They're seeing that again tonight. When Maysville gets a little bit of a seam, they're not going east and west. They're getting downhill and getting to the rim. It's kind of been a theme. Eastmore did the same thing in that first half of the district semifinal game. You drive it right at the Vikings, you're going to be much better off than trying to get around them with some dribble moves.
Four for 4 now at the free throw line for Maysville.
Well, Vikings need to come up with an answer here. You can't let this get too much farther away from you.
It's going to be Ebert stepping through. There's
There
the
we go.
easy money you were talking about.
That's what we needed. Vikings finally get on the board after over 5 minutes scoreless to start the game.
Nichols, tough contested jumper halfway home. Second rebound now for Smith. Zips ahead for Ebert. Back out to him. Chase had a window.
Well, and there's tons of time left. Maysville likes to play up-tempo, so you have so many possessions left in this game that if you're River Valley, you're not out of this. You're down 10. Plenty of time here. Lots of possessions. You just have to sit down and get stops.
Trimmed it back down to 10. Back-to-back buckets now. Ebert nearly with the pickpocket, but it leads to Nichols misfiring in tight. So Maysville going cold from the field here for their last few possessions. Leads to a run out. Sawyer left it on the front lid.
But good push in transition. That's what River Valley needs. And so far, Nichols has struggled from the floor a little bit here.
Iden knocked down his first couple of triples. Now spinning in the lane. Can't lose Snyder, the defender. And we'll get another foul. This one's on Ebert.
And again, just isolation, clear out space, and attack space. Iden drove it, cut through, quick lane line drive. Watson will step to the line.
It's the first miss of the foul line so far here for the Panthers. 17.1 points per game for Watson on the season.
You see the substitution. Maysville is not deep. They usually only play 6 guys. 2 big misses there. Oh, offensive rebounds, a killer.
Iden with the crease. Down to the block, missed it in tight. Second offensive rebound, will it lead to points? Another Smith board.
Well, the Vikings were fortunate there. 2 missed free throws and then an offensive rebound. They survived it. Chance to cut it.
Weston can't knock down the huge trifecta, but how about a deep one from Ebert? And Meyer keeps it alive, poked out of bounds by the Panthers.
Right now, both teams just struggling to defensive rebound.
Weston from the corner, able to wiggle free, gets
Get in
fouled
there.
and count it.
Well, big take there by Sawyer Weston. Was able to drive it baseline, create the contact, rolls around and drops. The Vikings with a 6-0 run here.
So crucial for River Valley to be able to get this thing down to single digits. give themselves a little bit of confidence as we're 45 seconds remaining in quarter number one.
Maysville spread the floor here with their ball handlers. Look for them to get the last shot of the quarter. Vikings have 4 team fouls. So if the Vikings commit the foul, Maysville will get to the free throw line.
No space whatsoever. Sawyer's got to be careful with that foul. Final 15 ticks.
Yeah, he cannot afford to get a second foul here.
Nichols on the backdoor cut, the step back, surrounded, lobs it into traffic. Good if it goes. That's a big one. Rohrig with the bucket, and it punches the lead back up to 10 as we head to quarter number 2. The regional championship on the line here at Ohio University.
Every time that we walk in, we know we're going to walk into a place that's very clean, and when we walk in, we have a professional environment to come to. The reliability of Pinnacle is always on the spot. We've been with them 16 years so far. They're committed, they are professional, they are very transparent with their pricing, and they excel at meeting every goal and every need we have.
They been sleeping on me, think it's time to wake 'em up.
A trip to the Final Four on the line here in the home of Ohio University, the Convocation Center, where River Valley coming in and pretty icy cold to start the afternoon here, Mark Bollinger. However, playing some pretty solid defense on the top scoring threat in tonight's game.
Yeah, Vikings shot just 23% during the first quarter, but on the defensive end, they've done a pretty good job on Gator Nichols. Came in averaging over 26 a game, held to just 2 in that quarter, but he did have 3 assists.
Smith, hop step, has to pick up his bounce, puts it inside for Myers. Sharp ball movement right now for Coach Brown's bunch, and straight to Rack City goes Ebert.
That's the aggressiveness River Valley needs to have out of Chase Ebert. He's been so good all year at catching the ball, getting downhill, and using his speed and strength to score.
He's got 4 of the 8 right now for the Vikings.
Any easy basket is a huge benefit to either team right now. Oh, Maysville had a wide open cutter off of a back screen flex action and missed him. And they just look willing to open up the floor.
Nichols cannot shake loose right now from the defense being locked down by Weston. Opens up a lane, the drive for Watson, and now back out to Gator.
But I think Maysville's confident and comfortable enough that they think their 4 is just as good as River Valley's others.
Nichols still without a field goal, though. Vikings a chance to get as close as they have been since the first 3 minutes. Smith on the baseline drive really forced that one left hand.
Well, I'd be a little bit surprised if you don't see Maysville adjust the offensive attack. Sawyer Weston doing a really good job of keeping Gator from getting a lot of touches. It wouldn't be surprised if you start seeing Gator running off of single side, double screens, just trying to shake him free, see if they can force some switches. Right now, they have not done that. Sawyer has not had to fight through many screens away from the ball.
Fake it to Iden, now get in the hands of Nichols. He lost it on the floor. Smith ahead of the pack. One dribble and fouled. Can't get the extra 2.
Well, good hands there by Chase Smith. Maysville looking to run a little handoff action, kind of like a Princeton look in the high post. Smith stayed and helped, got his hands on it, was able to get a run out, almost got that to drop, but he'll step to the line. Chance to make some free throws, get a little bit of confidence, see the ball go through the basket. But a good start here to quarter number 2 for River Valley. Scored the first 4.
Smith, an excellent shooter, able to bury them both, and it's now just a 2-possession game. Nice leave off inside, and it'll rattle through. Much needed bucket here for Rock and Maysville.
And I thought Rock missed that one at first. Able to catch the backside of the rim and roll in.
Weston gets skinny. Now to the short corner, back into his hands. Ebert got a window, air ball.
Yeah, just a little off balance. Defender stepped back. I'm not sure Chase was really ready to shoot that.
Panthers can get the lead back into double figures with a hoop here.
Good show by Axline.
Yeah, they shade, and it's halfway in and out again. Nichols, shortest dude on the floor, somehow able to collect the offensive board. Now the 3 from the corner, back iron.
Well, Maysville's gone cold. It's given River Valley a chance to get right back in this.
Tough take and a foul. Should be a shooting foul on the strong maneuver down the lane by Ebert.
Maysville now down to just 35% from the floor. River Valley at 25%.
If you're a fan of offense, this hasn't been the game for you just yet, but each of these teams, certainly they can fill it up. River Valley, almost 69 points per game. Maysville, right around 70.
Yeah, the tempo has been fun. It's been up and down, aggressive attacking. It's just neither team is shooting it real well. I'm still waiting to see who's going to make the first adjustment to the game. River Valley's defensive game plan has been good. They're doing a good job on Nichols. He's not been able to score from the field.
So Ebert splits the pair. Just a 57%er from the charity stripe this season.
Horns set. Look for the ball to come back to Nichols.
Watson looking to go to work. Myers on him. This is a fun matchup. Mano-y-mano. Now he pitches out Rohrig.
There was a screen away from the ball. Now they got the switch. Now it's Chase Ebert guarding Gator.
And I think that's tipped off a Gator. River Valley basketball. Been giving him some fits here so far, Mark.
I think they were fortunate. It looked like there may have been a foul on the reach-in, but the ball did go off of his leg.
I think the referee determined Smith got enough of the leather to cause a Panther turnover.
Well, and after the hot start, River Valley has settled in and been able to stop this hot Maysville team, gaining some confidence.
Chase, left hand down the lane, out of bounds. So Smith right now just 2 points. I think he's got about 7 field goal attempts, though.
Yeah, Chase just pressing, trying to make stuff happen a little too much. Like to see River Valley come down and try to run a set, see if they could get him a nice little mid-range jumper or wide open 3. Just let him get his feet set and see the ball go through the basket.
Here's Ferguson. Nice help by Ebert. And the bump from Smith leads to a foul. First team foul on the Vikings here in the second quarter.
That's his first, the team first.
Handoff in the corner. Keeps it. Watson's a really good player. I mean, Nichols gets all the attention, but, man, Jordan Watson can play. Great read, attack the basket with strength.
Yeah, he shoots pretty well. I think 66% from two-point range this season. So when he gets his opportunities in there, he is money.
Well, if there's any UDOTO fans here today watching this, they're probably really upset that attempt by Carter Myers because it didn't go in. The other night in the fourth quarter, he went 4 of 6 from 3. He hit one from deep in the corner of the state of Ohio. It was about a 28-footer. Huge shot to tie it up when it was 54-51. Missed his first attempt today.
Now he's calling for the ball in the lane.
He has the mismatch.
Mouse in the house with Gavin Ferguson now. He
Good
gets the
switch.
switch back. Weston, the pitch too tall for the cutting Smith.
In the semifinal game against Unioto, River Valley uncharacteristically turned the basketball over.
Looks like it's going to be a Maysville timeout. It'll just be their first.
30-second timeout.
Timeouts presented by Neuromuscular Therapy today. Again, you can call or text Hunter Mercer at the number listed there on the graphic. So River Valley, a slim edge here in this second frame, 5-4 mark. Just feels like neither team has found much of an offensive rhythm after that, 12 or 14-0 start there from Maysville.
Right, Maysville started out 14-0, and River Valley's kind of settled in here. But, yeah, neither team can really seem to get some consistency going on the offensive end for Maysville. River Valley's done such a good job of just being physical with Gator Nichols, just not allowing him to get to the spots on the floor that he's most comfortable getting to. But on the opposite end for River Valley, they're also in the same boat where they're a little rushed. They're taking some shots they normally don't take. Again, all kinds of time left. No need to panic. A lot of possessions. Just settle in and win each possession.
Help from Smith, double teamed. Passing out of there goes Gator. They want to get it back to him on the backdoor cut. Another slick find, second assist for Nichols.
And that's what makes him so special, is he has only scored 2 points today, but he has impacted the game so much. 4 assists, 4 rebounds, the smallest guy on the court.
Meanwhile, Ebert in attack mode the other way. Just so strong, it looked like there was about 3 other hands that touched that basketball. He was just able to fight through. Nichols comes out. They'll fake to him. Now Watson to the corner, back up top.
Well, watch for Rohrig to get an open 3 here. If River Valley's not careful, the way they're helping to the ball, when Nichols attacks, they can get that skip out of there and get the extra to the corner. And on this one, foul Nichols as he's shooting the 3.
Gator Nichols to the line. He will have 3 to shoot.
Fouls on Chase Smith. Didn't look like he impacted him on the shot, but didn't allow him to come down and land.
Well, not only does this allow Nichols to put some points on the board for his team, when you have a great scorer who's struggling to score, you don't want to put him at the line and let him get confidence. He has not made a field goal yet today, but he's 3 of 3 from the line.
And he continues to stay perfect shooting. 84%er, and boy, does he get to the free throw line a lot, Mark. Over 170 attempts now.
Yeah, the ball's in his hands so much during the course of the offense. He attacks the basket so well that, yeah, his free throw numbers, his assist numbers are just off the charts. And one of the things I have great respect for is everybody you talk to that is coached against him, media that cover him or whatever, just talk about how he is just a worker. He's just relentless in the gym all the time, trying to improve his game.
Nice take here and a much-needed basket on the way for Snyder.
Yeah, Snyder had a big shot in the semifinal game. River Valley was trailing by 10, hit a corner 3. Comes up with another nice shot there. Get the Vikings back to 10.
Replaces himself, and it's over the top. So Iden, after knocking down his first 2 attempts of the night, not much since.
I think Coach Brown would have preferred, their Coach Brown on the
That's right.
Maysville,
Brown versus Brown matchup tonight.
On the Maysville side would have preferred him just to catch and shoot. first look may have been the clean one.
On the block, Myers between his legs, fouled, and that'll be the last one to give here for Maysville.
Myers, good job getting post position. Need to throw that ball farther away from the defender. It's not something River Valley does a lot of. They don't throw the ball to the post too much. There we go. That's what I like. Throw that lob play off the inbounds play. Easy for 2.
It's Carter Myers able to free up and just sky to the third story over the top of the defense.
Well, this last minute is so critical for River Valley. You've got to stay in touch here. You're only down 8. Can you keep it there or maybe cut into it? Get a stop and a score to finish the half. Get a little momentum.
Iden back outside. Here comes Rohrig. Has to pick it up, but Nichols threading the needle inside. Slow roller out to the corner. Watson with a huge shot.
Well, big shot there by Watson.
Ooh, Snyder thought better of putting it up at point-blank range. And now Ebert, like a fullback down the lane, lost the handle. Panther ball.
Oh, tough play there. River Valley down 11. I was hoping to see him get the last shot of the quarter or the half. Instead, they turn it over, and what had been an 8-point lead 20 seconds ago, now, depending on this possession, could erupt up to 14 at the half.
Yeah, you mentioned stay in touch. If it extends a little bit more than this, you got a lot of work to do in that second half.
There's the turnover.
Right back to Papa. So end-to-end for Nichols. It's good if it goes for Ebert. Pretty close, but no cigar. And fabulous finish if you are a fan of Maysville, as they are going to take a 13-point lead into the halftime locker rooms. Stay with us, folks. We're going to take a timeout. We've got a special guest that's going to be joining us as well. We'll chit-chat with Mark, somebody that's got connections to both schools. Plus, we'll have your halftime stats, analysis, and a whole second half still on the way. It's live, it's free, and we'll return here at the home of the Bobcats in just a couple of minutes. You're watching high school tournament basketball 100% live and free. Thanks to all of our generous sponsors. Please support those who support your local athletes.
You have better things to do than to job hunt or scramble to find your next great hire. So let Spherion do it. We say local is our superpower because we live and work where you live and work. We know the Mid-Ohio job market, and we're locally owned. So you won't find a partner who's more engaged and literally invested in your success. If you're ready for something better, start with Spherion. Visit us online at midohiojobs.net or call 419-747-7479.
Every time that we walk in, we know we're going to walk into a place that's very clean, and when we walk in, we have a professional environment to come to. The reliability of Pinnacle is always on the spot. We've been with them 16 years so far. They're committed, they are professional, they are very transparent with their pricing, and they excel at meeting every goal and every need we have.
Welcome to Marion County Now, the heartbeat of our neighborhood, the fountain of our news. We're local, we're pertinent, and we're all about you. We're dedicated to keeping you in the loop, involved, and linked with the community. And the cherry on top, our service doesn't cost a dime. Marion County Now, our neighborhood, our news.
Welcome back to the Mathews Family of Dealerships halftime show here at the Convocation Center on the campus of Ohio University, where at halftime it is Maysville 30, River Valley 17 in the regional finals in Division 4. Halftime, we are joined today by the superintendent of River Valley Local Schools, Mr. Adam Wickham. And Adam, we're going to, first of all, just jump right into it, the fact that you're a guy that has ties to both these communities.
That's right, yeah. So I was born and raised in the Maysville School District, and so 13 years in the school district, and worked there for 17 years as a teacher and administrator. So it's a place I'm very familiar with. Saw a lot of people today, and two really great communities.
Yeah, two good communities. So for those, River Valley area and those of us that don't know a lot about Maysville, is it similar to River Valley in some ways?
Yeah, I think there are some real similarities. Topography is the big difference. Just a lot of rolling hills in southeastern Ohio, really flat up in Marion County. But the communities themselves, generational families, people that care about their schools, and that is the same in both. And you see that today, I think, in the number of people that have shown up for this game. So
yeah, we expected a great turnout. We know Maysville from years past has been so supportive of their team, and obviously this River Valley community has been behind their schools and behind their team, and so great environment here for these two squads. So when you're at Maysville, just give us a little bit of history of when you were a student, what you did, what you're involved with, and then what you taught and how things progressed for you professionally.
Yeah, just again, I was involved in a lot of activities, played football, and then when I was teaching, I was fortunate to have seniors in social studies. So I had really the greatest job because I had every student that last year of high school and was senior advisor. And so a lot of things I learned in that role, just treating people well and trying to, have grace for people. You try to do that in the role of superintendent. So it's River Valley's a great community, and we really are thankful. My family, we live there, and my kids go to school in River Valley, so we're blessed to be there.
Well, how tough is it for you? Obviously you're a River Valley guy now. We understand that. You want the Vikings to win. But when it's your alma mater and it's home, it's always mixed emotions. And you talked about some of the families. You said the other night when you and I were talking that there's some kids out here that you went to school with their parents or aunts and uncles and things like that.
Yeah, I was talking to one of my lifelong friends I went to elementary school with all the way up through. His son is on the team and doesn't get a lot of playing time, I think, but he's on the varsity team. And so it was good to see him today, and it's hard. Like I said, some other people earlier, I'm rooting for River Valley, but I'm not rooting against Maysville. And so, obviously our focus is on supporting River Valley. But if we can't pull off the win today, I'm definitely going to be rooting for the Panthers as they move forward.
Absolutely. Last year, I know my wife and my family, we were down at Dayton, and we were walking. We saw you in the concourse down there supporting Maysville a year ago. But just talk for a second about what this means to the River Valley community, this group of young men. It's much more than just basketball. It's about the school and the community and the roots that it has in it.
Yeah, these are, I think both communities have this. These are neighborhood kids that have born and raised and grown up in their communities and in Waldo and Caledonia, and the same thing for Maysville. But this means a lot for River Valley, and 1963 was the last time, the first year the school of its existence made it to a regional final, and so it's great to see the community come out in full force, all the students here. It's great.
Well, I just personally want to give you a huge compliment and huge shout out. I've been around high school sports a long time, and Friday when I was at practice, the fact that you came in after your work day and personally talked to the coaching staff, congratulated them, went over and shook every young man's hand on the team, congratulated them. To have that kind of support from the administration is something that you rarely see. So, I know Coach Brown is appreciative. I know so many other people who appreciate your leadership and just your your personality and truly caring about what's best for the kids. We do appreciate that.
I appreciate that, Mark. Yeah, these are great kids to root for, I think, with both teams. The River Valley kid, Chase Smith's a neighbor of mine. Chase Ebert is a kid that, he just talk about the football pep rally they had last year at Heritage Elementary. He went up to a special needs kid and made that kid's day. These are the kind of young people we have in this team that it's easy to root for these guys because they're just great great young men too.
Well, from the top down, we appreciate it because you set the standard with the culture and everything at River Valley, and obviously things are going in the right direction, and hopefully in the second half we can get it turned around out here and punch that ticket to the Final Four.
Absolutely.
So our halftime guest, thank you to Mr. Adam Wickham, Superintendent of the River Valley Local Schools, and thanks to Mathews Family of Dealerships for supporting and sponsoring our halftime show. We will be right back with second half action and all the first half statistics. Again, at halftime, it is Maysville 30, River Valley 17.
You have better things to do than to job hunt or scramble to find your next great hire. So let Spherion do it. We say local is our superpower because we live and work where you live and work. We know the Mid-Ohio job market, and we're locally owned. So you won't find a partner who's more engaged and literally invested in your success. If you're ready for something better, start with Spherion. Visit us online at midohiojobs.net or call 419-747-7479.
They been sleeping on me, think it's time to wake 'em up. They been sleeping.
Your halftime show continues here from the Convocation Center in fabulous Athens, Ohio. Got a 13-point game right now. Mark Bollinger, let's take a look here at these first half stats, kind of the tail of the tape and how we've gotten to this point in the game. And some big storylines brewing right now. Not very good shooting, 7 of 21 right now for the Vikings, but the biggest number you talked about, the impact that the three-point shot can have, 0 for 7 from downtown right now.
And I think the first thing you have to do is give credit to Maysville. They have done such an outstanding job of defending the three-point shot. River Valley just has not been able to get clean, open looks like they've been able to get all season long. And when you're struggling to get open looks and everything is contested, it makes for a rough night. Even if you can get one to go, it's hard to get 2, 3, 4 shots in a row to go on consecutive possessions. That's been an issue. We'll see if River Valley can come out and run some sets and get those clean looks.
Here's how it's looked through a couple quarters. It was a 10-point lead at the end of the first. River Valley, they chipped away, but then how about that 5-0 run over the last few seconds? Those were kind of back-breaking 2 buckets there for Maysville.
Yeah, that really hurt. River Valley was within 8, just needed to get a stop. Instead, Maysville gets a score. River Valley shoots it early. They don't score. Ball goes out of bounds. Maysville gets it, and then they score at the end. And what could have been an 8-point deficit ends up being 13. Vikings have their work cut out for them, but again, plenty of time, and that's what they need to start.
Acrobatic save back in bounds from Smith. He struggled from the floor. 0 of 6 shooting so far. He's got 2 points, both of those at the free throw line. Sawyer Weston as well. So the Smith & Wesson so far just has not really gone the way that they wanted it shooting-wise. 1 of 11 as Osteen gets fouled on the interior.
Well, and I think the length of Maysville is causing issues. They've got a couple of guys that are 6'3", long arms, and they're just doing a really good job of contesting shots. And even if it's not guarded, River Valley thinks that it's guarded. It looks guarded. But here, Osteen gets the block, and then on his second chance gets fouled.
Third free throw miss in 6 attempts so far for the Vikings.
Yeah, River Valley struggled the other night as well. Fourth quarter and overtime, they only went 5 of 10, but they were able to overcome it. Today, they're going to have to make free throws here if they're going to get back in this and win it.
Shaves the deficit down to a dozen.
You see the first adjustment by Maysville, taking Nichols off the ball.
Almost a 5-second count on Jordan Watson.
What I'm not sure about Maysville doing, though, is Nichols is not getting any screens. It's just trying to get open versus Weston one-on-one. I'm surprised they're not just running some kind of offense where they're bringing him off multiple screens.
It's going to be the second foul on Sawyer Weston. And as physical as they've allowed him to play so far, that looked pretty normal from what we saw in the first half.
Yeah, and as a player and coach, you hope they just stay consistent. Don't change how the game is officiated.
Watson surveying, now hands off here. Iden to work, the kick out to the corner. And we saw Rock hit a couple big buckets in the first half, turned away this time.
Good play by Owen Osting.
Oh, the lob. You could tell that telepathy just wasn't dialed in here. Ebert wanted to hook up for the slam dunk, and Myers just never left planet Earth.
One issue that so many teams have in today's game is they use the ball screen and open post offense so much that at times you have a player like Nichols who cannot get space. You struggle to get him looks.
Great wraparound pass, and it's an easy 2 points here on the interior for Rohrig.
And that's just too easy. Osting deep in the post. Good work by Owen.
A strong rebound inside. Rock was surrounded by Vikings.
Now Vikings need to get back in transition.
Back-breaking shot and a big rebound. Rohrig, the kick out, the three. Almost 3 times off of the lid there for Watson, and a loose ball foul.
Well, they were fortunate there. 2 wide open threes. Iden and Watson both had great looks, and they didn't go in.
How does this one not drop? Boink, doink, doink.
But again, just the active backside rebounding by Maysville creates the foul and gives them another turnover. So Osting will check out. River Valley trying to match up here a little bit with the speed of the Maysville players on the perimeter.
Short corner, Nichols finally with a field goal. It's his first jump shot he's made tonight.
Yeah, 9 points. Gets a jumper to go.
Meanwhile, right back to Papa into the hands of Ebert, and he lays it in. Weston, sorry.
Coach Brown looking for a spark here. Hudson Pollock comes in off the bench.
Nice hesitation. Nice strong move, and it's back up to 16. Myers has not looked for his shot much. Tipped around, big board by Rohrig, but tipped away. The
Big
save.
play.
Weston to the rack. Back-to-back buckets now for RV.
Well, Sawyer has been outstanding in this regional semifinal and then regional final. He played so well the other night offensively and defensively. He's been big today, but now he's going to get his 3rd foul.
Yeah, looks like Coach Rodney Brown's going to take him out. He was trying to say that he went body to body, but you see he did get that right arm in there.
Yeah. Well, Sawyer's he's been so good. I laugh about this throughout the season to Coach Brown and to Sawyer himself. Just that he's so physical. I mean, he's so good at it, just keeping his arm close to his body, but using the strength to create contact and drive guys off their line. That time they were able to get him the call out in the open floor.
So a change of scenery the first time over to the sideline for Weston. Get Axline into the game. Here he is on the contest. And it's off the front of the rim, but nobody secures it for River Valley. Tough break.
Yeah, tough break after the missed 3 by Nichols.
See Pollock, he's got his shoulder shrug going on. Smith as well.
River Valley's still fine. They are a team that goes on big runs.
That's going to be on the floor.
Yeah, we've seen it all season long where they're a team that they can reel off 10 or 12 points in a hurry. So only trailing by 14, you're okay if you can get stops. You've got to string together 3 or 4 possessions here with stops and scores.
Little teardrop off of River Valley, so Smith cannot secure it, and it's another break for the Panthers.
Yeah, and River Valley has to be really happy as well because Gator Nichols is shooting the ball horrifically today.
Watson collects his own miss, sets it up. Iden cashes out from long range.
And again, second chance points, offensive rebound, leads to a kick out and a 3.
Now Ebert fouled as he was trying to take it into the offensive sets. Another look, though, at that last stroke. And that's his 3rd made trifecta so far here tonight. 13 points for Landon.
And down 17, Weston's coming right back in the game. I think that's a good call by Coach Brown. down 17 with basically 12 minutes to go in this game. You've just got to play him, and if Sawyer fouls out, he fouls out, but don't waste him on the bench.
Largest lead of the afternoon right now for Maysville.
A 3 here by Smith would be huge.
Said it's going to be Weston fresh off the bench, no friendly roll. Gator with a 3-on-3. Nichols in attack mode, lost his footing, and Ebert tried to tip it back in play, but it's off the back of Sawyer Weston. And just seems like every little 50-50 ball is more like 100-0 in favor of Maysville. River Valley's have a few tough looks at the basketball.
Yeah, and we've seen those games where it seemed like every little break went River Valley's way, and today it's been the opposite.
Iden, the acceleration, gets by the first defender, lost it, but in a good spot right next to the bucket. Another reach-in foul, but things starting to get out of control here. The Panthers, that's their third foul, but big 19-point lead.
Well, down 19 for River Valley. Can you get a clean look? Can you get Chase Smith coming off of a screen or a series of screens and let him get an open look from 3?
That one's on line, but it's a little bit short. Long rebound collected by Rohrig. He's been big on the glass. 7 rebounds so far.
Oh, all right, there's a break. River Valley finally caught a break there. Looked like the ball was out of bounds off of the Vikings. Instead, they'll get possession. But you saw with Weston checking back in that Eli Snyder has rotated over and is now guarding Nichols, trying to keep Weston from getting that 4th foul.
Ebert right down the lane, and he's able to put it in.
He was just going to the basket. What happened when he got there. He didn't care.
Ebert's now got 9 to lead River Valley offensively. Be a foul on the arm here, Smith. And that's going to be the 3rd on Chase Smith.
Maysville likes that high post action. When they throw to that post, usually it's Nichols coming off of a cut or a handoff. They'll run a little cross action, see if they can get some confusion.
Bonus action the rest of the way here in the 3rd quarter for the Panthers. Rock can't splash.
Well, the other night in the 4th quarter, Unioto was in the same position where they had River Valley with 5 team fouls. They were shooting double bonus the last 4.5 minutes of the game, and they went away from that. They started shooting threes instead of getting to the basket. Maysville has a chance here to continue to attack the basket and draw fouls and get to the line, but if they're going to shoot it like that, maybe they don't want to.
Just 3 of 10 on the season from the free throw line for Rock. And that's doinked right off of the dome piece there of Snyder. So the Vikings, every chance they get to make a run, they're getting hit with a counter punch. Huge shot right there. You see the emotion. Rohrig able to drain it and pump up the lead to 20.
Well, and that 3 was led to by the great dribble drive by Watson. He caught it, was able to get an inside drive, and so River Valley couldn't use the baseline to help. Able to get that inside drive. As soon as the help rotated, it was the kick out, feet set. Rohrig drains it. Vikings find themselves down 20.
And just not shooting it very well today, Mark. 33% so far from the floor. And the three-point line, it's been their friend more often than not so far on the season. They're a team that shoots 35% from long range. They've made 175 of them on the year. And unfortunately, sometimes it's just not your night, and it seems like the little strange bounces have kind of mostly favored the Panthers.
And throughout the season when they were making threes, we've seen so many games where River Valley just rolled over people because they would get out in transition, and those threes were wide open, and it was just basically a shooting gallery. You get deeper into the tournament, you don't get those looks. And Maysville, to their credit, is really good defensively, very active, very long. They know River Valley can shoot the three well, so they're taking it away. That's what good teams do at this point in the tournament. They take away strengths, and so far Maysville has done that. It's still there as a threat. Can River Valley knock some threes down here and try to cut into the lead? Can you get it down to 12 or 14 going to the fourth?
Collectively, the entire fan base for the Vikings, they're anxiously awaiting a shot just like this. Big one from Ebert. He's been kind of carrying the scoring load so far. He's got about half of the Vikings' points.
Yeah, he's been really good on the offensive end tonight. Feet set, was able to catch and shoot, and Eli's going to commit the foul. And not a foul you want to commit because Nichols is going to go to the free throw line.
And yeah, one of the most experienced free throw shooters probably remaining in Division IV. As mentioned, he's got over 170 attempts and shoots about 85%.
Yeah, so Nichols will gladly take this. You know, you're a scorer like that. You get to the bonus, you're like, please foul me. I will gladly take two more the easy way as the Gator Chomp takes place on the Maysville end. And he's a guy, too, when he shoots free throws, it's not hitting rim. It's pure.
He's got a great-looking shooting stroke. He's just a quality player, and I think if you told Rodney Brown that you would be holding him in check right now at this point, that you would think that you would have a lead, and instead to see the 19-point deficit, obviously very concerning here for the Vikings, but they've still got enough time if they can start cashing in some big threes. Here's one from Myers, and now it's back-to-back.
Two of them in a row. That's exactly what they needed. Ebert and Myers, consecutive possessions, back to 16.
Extra pass to the corner, but they match it. Another massive shot here from Roehrig.
But when you're making threes, you've got to get stops on the other end. At this point, you can't play match. It has to be score, stop, score.
Nice strong take in the hang time to put it in for back-to-back hoops. So Meyer starting to find his offense. He's got 9. 3 players in double figures right now for Maysville. And they'll shoot more free throws.
Again, just attack mode. If you're out there watching and you're fans of MOAC team or MOAC team players, basically what we're seeing is Maysville's doing to River Valley what River Valley did to teams this year. Getting stops, getting out running, making threes, attacking the basket, getting the free throw line. Maysville's using that same formula against River Valley today.
Timely shooting too. Every time River Valley seems like they're about to get some momentum, Mark, either they'll go cold and or recently here the Panthers, they've had that match.
You're right, the back-breaking match. You hit a couple of threes, they come down, they hit the three.
Another phenomenal free throw shooter on the line right now, Watson. His 45th make of the year. He's over 80%.
And what's so scary about this Maysville team is most of them are coming back.
Yes.
This is a junior-dominated team. This is not the end of Maysville.
Myers hit his last couple, tipped out of bounds, and River Valley tried to make the case it should be their basketball. Let's see. Tough call. Axline certainly was involved in the mix. Referee's going to slow things down. It's getting pretty physical out there right now with Eli Snyder and Gator Nichols.
Well, Eli's a competitor. He's not going to back down. His job right now is to defend Gator Nichols. And he's going to do whatever it takes. Just don't commit the foul, Eli. You're 90 feet away. And again, this is something that Gator has seen all season long. You're not going to rattle him. The physicality, the talking, whatever, he's going to play through it.
Yeah, it's just a super poised player, and you see it here trying to run a bunch of time off the clock, try to hold, and at worst, go into the fourth quarter with a 19-point lead.
Such good court awareness. Here comes Ebert on the double. See if they rotate out of it and get the steal.
Back to Nichols. Clock fading down to 10 seconds. Backdoor cut. Watson up and under.
Vikings have time to get a shot.
Myers steps through. They're going to say it was after the horn, and a lot of work to do here for the Vikings if they're going to try to make a run as the Panthers on the doorstep of making back-to-back state Final Fours.
Every time that we walk in, we know we're going to walk into a place that's very clean, and when we walk in, we have a professional environment to come to. The reliability of Pinnacle is always on the spot. We've been with them 16 years so far. They're committed, they are professional, they are very transparent with their pricing, and they excel at meeting every goal and every need we have.
They been sleeping on me, think it's time to wake 'em up. They been sleeping on me, think it's time to wake 'em up. You've been playing it safe, now it's time to shake it up. Playing it safe, now it's time to shake it up.
8 more minutes is all that separates the Panthers potentially from going back to the state Final Four, but River Valley, 17 consecutive wins. This is a gutsy group. We'll see what they come up with now in money time. I'm Brian Skowronski. Mark Bollinger is with me. It's been a tough ride so far here for the Vikings. Ebert, though, he's been in attack mode all afternoon. He's got 14 of the 34, and they're going to do everything they can to try to extend this season and put a lot of pressure here on Maysville.
Well, I expected Chase to have a great game. After his struggles the other night, you knew that he was going to come out and compete, and he has. Now can we just get some other guys to step up here, make some shots, put some pressure on Maysville, just get in their head a little bit and let them think and have some doubt.
Foul's going to go on Luke Axline. Defending in the backcourt, a little bump. This will be the first on Luke.
But the only way River Valley is going to get back in this and get it and have a chance is they have to get stops every single possession.
This will help. Rock lost the handle. Weston able to collect. Sawyer passes ahead. 3-on-2. The lob. Myers, tough catch. Count it.
That's the start River Valley needed. 4 points to open the quarter. Myers' chance to make it 5. Get it back to 16.
He's replaced on the court by Kane Roy. At the line with the bonus, Carter Myers.
Carter Myers, the second Viking, into double figures, looking for his 12th point here at the line.
If you're Maysville, you have to defensive rebound a miss. Didn't matter. Myers knocked her down.
So all of a sudden it's back to 16. And it seems like the Vikings coming out here feeling quite motivated to do everything they can to give themselves a puncher's chance in about the last 2-3 minutes.
Well, and right now Nichols is just willing to stand out at the midcourt line and let the other guys kind of hold the basketball until he cuts to the basket and finishes the easy one.
Hasn't got a lot of friendly rolls. That time he did. Skips through.
He's just so hard to guard without the ball. You think he's just standing there, and then all of a sudden he just makes a hard, quick cut and wide open.
13 points for Nichols. He's also got 5 rebounds, 4 dimes. Weston spinning and dilling on the interior. Now he's got 8.
Maysville's experience, they've been through this. They understand time and score.
Nichols, tough runner off the front of the iron.
And as soon as I say that, Nichols takes a shot that probably was ill-advised.
Here's Weston out of the corner. 3 ball on the way. That's a big one now for River Valley. The momentum flowing in their favor.
Three-lie.
Coach Brown going to let him play through this right now. Dave Brown on the Maysville side. Now they'll burn a timeout. 10-2 run here for River Valley, and a team that's got so much pride. They've been playing really consistent basketball. 1 loss since the calendar flipped to 2025, Mark. You knew eventually they were going to have an avalanche. Is it too late in the game for them to get back into this thing Not anymore.
Not anymore. You're down 13, just under 6 minutes to go. There's still hope. And again, although Maysville has been through it, we're still talking about 15, 16, 17, 18, 19-year-old kids that can feel pressure. Can River Valley get a couple more stops and a couple scores, get this down under 10? If it gets under 10, now Maysville will start to think, and you'll see how they react. The bad news is you're playing against a Maysville team that has guys that have been through this. They've been to the state Final Four. They beat Shelby in the semifinals last year before losing in the finals. So this is a team that's got guys who understand game situations, understand pressure. We'll see how they respond. But if you're River Valley, just keep chipping away. Chip, chip, chip. You don't need to get it all back at once, but you have to get stops.
Be Panthers basketball right in front of their own bench. 4 of the 5 players on the floor right now for Maysville in double-figure scoring. Vikings certainly have been keying on Gator Nichols so far. And right now that task is Eli Snyder.
See if River Valley tries to double team if the ball gets to the sideline or the baseline. Vikings only committed 1 team foul in the quarter. They can be aggressive and get after it here.
Nichols spinning, nearly traveled, hoists it up. Awful shot, but Rock's there to bail him out. Ball's loose, it's tipped around. Ebert, what an around the back play, and straight to the cup. Down to 11.
They're a stop and a score away. Couple bad shots here in the fourth by Gator Nichols.
And now an offensive foul. Nichols has been getting harassed all night, and it seems like maybe it's getting to him just a little bit now, Mark.
A little bit there, yeah. Eli Snyder's been face-to-face with him, chin-to-chin here for a while, and he was able to get a little bit of a response there. Well, in the semifinal, Unioto did exactly what River Valley needed and gave them the opportunity to come right back into the game, and now you're seeing Maysville do the exact same thing. Everything you could do wrong, they're doing wrong.
First regional final appearance in more than 60 years for RV, trying to make the most of it. That would have been a massive shot. Might have blown the roof off the gym. But instead, another quick one. But wow, a timely shot. And Roriggs hit 3 of those here in the second half.
Oh, yeah. Open 3 at one end to cut it to 8. Missed. They come down and bury a 3.
So back out to 14. Wraparound pass. Well short with the shot. Now out ahead of the pack, stepping into another triple. Would have been huge.
Bad decision. You had 3-on-1 and you shoot the 3 ball.
Vikings sky high. And that one short for Snyder. So the pace really picking up.
Maysville's playing like they're behind by 14. I don't understand what they're doing. But if you're River Valley, you take it.
I don't get it either, Mark.
Oh, my gosh. I feel like I'm watching Unioto all over again. I don't know if this is a Southeast Ohio thing, not knowing how to play with the lead. But you're up 14, and you come down, and you have possessions that last less than 8 seconds, and you shoot deep threes. As a River Valley guy, I'm okay with that. You keep shooting it quick. But for Maysville, bad clock management.
We're now halfway through the fourth quarter. Ebert right now on Nichols. And
thought Chase was going to get teed up. A little shot to the head afterwards. Kind of grabbed Gator. I thought the official was coming in, going to call the technical foul.
Watch this thing from the start. And there it is, yeah.
Yeah, could have very easily been given the technical for the grab and then the shot to the back of the head.
Just one more foul to give here for the Vikings.
Well, I talked about it in the broadcast the other night. You know, I was actually, like I said, I've been texting and talking to so many different River Valley players from the 80s, 90s, 2000s, guys that played for me, guys that played for Coach Freshour. Coach Freshour, who was coach at River Valley before myself, he was texting me, and at this point, what you typically see in a River Valley team who's ahead by 10 to 15 points through the years is we get to the last 4 minutes, we're going layups and free throws. We're going to control this game. You're going to foul us. We're going to make free throws. We're going to bury you. That's what I anticipated we'd see out of Maysville. They're doing the exact opposite. They're just shooting contested threes and launching it. Not the best way to win a ball game.
Still do have a 14-point lead, and their fans feeling like they're going to have a return trip back to the state Final Four. River Valley fans certainly were feeling that way as well. I want to say what's up to everybody dropping us some comments out there. More than 300 of you watching right now on our Facebook page. Ashley Gay, Randall Summers, both saying let's go RV. Timmy Martin says just keep fighting. Jerry Weston says the same thing. Doug Collins just wishing Rodney Brown and the team luck. Les Bureau, great year, all Ohio. And then Cindy Liggett, one of our few Panthers fans out there. David Howell as well says, atta baby Panthers. But like you just said, probably not liking what they've been doing here the last couple of minutes, but they do have the basketball and a sizable lead.
Well, and with the foul situation, again, I wouldn't be surprised. Well, I was going to say if they spread the floor. If they spread the floor and attack, Nichols gets to the basket.
So it's back out to 16. River Valley's got to be perfect the rest of the way on offense.
I need to get ball movement. I need somebody set a flare screen to get an open shooter. Exchanges aren't going to work right now. Contested three from Smith. Got it.
His first field goal of the night. So trims it down to a baker's dozen. The floor opens up. Block shot inside. Tipped out. Another 10-second possession here for the Panthers.
Perfectly played for River Valley.
Myers in, absorbs the contact. Another and one in the fourth quarter for him.
And all of a sudden, you got a chance to get it to 10. Maysville doing everything they can to lose this ball game. Can the Vikings take advantage for the second time in a row in Athens?
14 points now for Myers. 16 points, 4 dimes for Chase Ebert. And he smokes that one through. It's a 10-point game. So for River Valley, you want to play super physical here. You've got one more foul to give.
Right, go get the basketball, exactly. Don't go just to foul, go to steal it.
Down the lane, the runner swirls out, and a strong rebound by Weston.
Again, not the shot you want if you're Maysville. Attack the basket and convert here if you're the Vikings.
Smith definitely could have used that one, but an offensive board created by Snyder to the cup, and he's fouled. So the Vikings somehow still with a pulse. Offensive rebound, well done here by Snyder. Got the defender on his hip, and he'll head to the free throw line. Big miss right there. You can ill afford to leave any money on the table right now for the Vikings. Jay Smith will check out in favor of Axline.
Yeah, big deep breath here, Eli. Take a breath, relax, make the free throw. Set up the full court pressure off the made free throw. Now see if the Vikings can, again, cause a quick turnover, a quick shot. All these quick shots from Maysville have just been like turnovers.
The timer was at 8 seconds to get it across. Now the double team coming in the corner.
He's out of bounds.
So a giveaway, but
they called timeout. Oh, he stepped on the baseline.
Let's see how far back I've got this replay for you, Mark. Yeah, and the whistle comes right on that rotation with that plant foot, so it was very close, but you got to give a lot of love to River Valley getting themselves back in this game. They certainly could have just rolled over and just been like, hey, it's your time right now, Maysville.
Well, it's a gritty, proud team who has been through a lot during this season. You know, they had some doubts coming into the season with graduation, taking a couple really good players. There's some people who weren't sure how good the Vikings were going to be, but coming out of the summer, I talked to Coach Brown and some of the guys, and I knew how well they played, and they were so excited about what they could do this year, and everything has worked out great. They've stayed injury-free. They rolled through the MOAC. They've rolled through this tournament, and now they're running up against an outstanding Maysville squad, and they're still right here if they can get a little bit more help. How soon until we start fouling? That's the question.
2 minutes to the final 4.
I think Coach Dave Brown told his guys enough was enough. He let them play the last 4 or 5 possessions and take bad shots. I think that timeout was one to tell them to knock it off, that we're going to hold the basketball and shoot layups and free throws.
And it's paying off right now. A lot of time winding off the clock. And that's the final foul to give here for River Valley.
Yeah, if they would have done this in the last 3 minutes, there's probably a lot less stress on the Maysville sideline and in the stands.
Get Axline back into the mix as Smith checks out.
Yep, offensive-defensive substitution here. I'm sure Smith will come right back in as soon as the Vikings commit the foul.
Instead, it's going to be a clean steal. Here's Myers, a 2-on-1. He's going to take it himself. Oh, wow. Won't go in, tipped out of bounds by the Vikings.
Yeah, Axline, great job of getting in there, trying to rebound, but looked like Luke just knocked that out of bounds. Nichols slid over, looked like he was going to take the charge. Myers adjusted, ball just wouldn't drop. I'm sorry, it wasn't Nichols, it was Rohrig.
That would have got River Valley as close as they've been since the first quarter.
Over and back. Sorry about that. I yelled the same thing the other night in the comeback. Gosh, that's 2 games in a row where Unioto did the same thing the other night, and I was trying to make the call for the official.
I think they heard you up here in the second deck.
My fault, everybody.
So Vikings fans, don't shut it off and say great season just yet. A big 3 right here puts a lot of pressure, I think, certainly on the Panthers.
Absolutely, and now 2 straight turnovers for Maysville. So we thought they'd settled in, but instead they had bad shot selection. Now they went to the turnovers.
The scoop shot and the foul, and that's going to be the 5th here on the Panthers.
Yeah, late whistle.
Kane Rohrig with his 2nd foul to team 5th.
So River Valley into the bonus the rest of the way.
At the strike,
Big free throws here for Chase.
Chase Ebert.
He struggled a little bit from the free throw line down the stretch of the regular season.
Yeah, massive miss right there.
If he misses here, though, you have Carter Myers in there who's really good at getting off the floor and elevating. Can he get a tap back out to a 3-point shooter?
He cannot. Empty trip to the free throw line for Ebert. And that shuts the door even a little bit more, as now it's Maysville into the bonus.
Well, everything River Valley needed to happen to get them back in the game has happened. Against Unioto, they took advantage of it. Everything went their way. They came back and won. Today, they were able to get back into it. But a couple of empty possessions here when Maysville opened the door. Vikings just weren't able to convert, but Maysville's going to keep them around.
Watson's been solid all year from the charity stripe. He'll still have one more to try to bust it back to a 10-point lead.
Big free throw, chance to get it to 4 possessions. Vikings need to make sure they defensive rebound if it's a miss. Now you have to go quick. Get a quick screen, open shooter.
Weston turned away at the front door by Rohrig. And now a wide open look for Rock.
Well, now you've got to shoot the 3. You're down 12, 50 seconds to go. It has to be threes.
Ebert instead attacks. That's one way to get it.
Chase Ebert.
Well, and if you're Maysville, another mental mistake. You gladly allow Ebert to get the free throw. You would still be up 10. Instead, you commit the foul, chance to get it back to a 3-possession game. If you're Coach Dave Brown, you have to be furious at the way your team has finished in this fourth quarter, because if you go ahead and end up winning this game and beat River Valley and advance, you can't do this against a Kettering Alder or Cincinnati, Wyoming, or they're going to end your season.
Been outscored by 11 so far here in the fourth. Make it a dozen. Now they're going to make it a free throw shooting contest as Idem will trot down to the other end, a 71%er, but he's only got 24 attempts on the year.
Well, if we rewind this all the way back, that 14-0 start put River Valley in a hole, and they've just tried to dig out of it all night long, and just a huge hill to climb.
Cold shooting came at a improper time here for the Vikings during this nice long winning streak, looking for 18 in a row here in Athens this afternoon. And they've put a little bit of scare into the spine of the Panthers.
And I know that Coach Brown was a little bit of afraid of that. They haven't shot the ball well in the last 4 games in this tournament run. Now, you know, Cristo Rey, the first game was pretty easy, but then Eastmore, Buckeye Valley, Unioto, and then today they just have not shot it well.
Idem with a perfect trip right there. Smith from the logo. Here's Weston working inside, back iron, battling for it, and it slips out to Iden. They'll send it ahead of the pack to Rohrig, and he'll get fouled. With just 26 seconds remaining, Panthers fans starting to rise up out of their seats here inside the Convocation Center. Big hug right now over on the sideline, Coach Brown and Iden. They can feel it, man.
Well, I'm going to be really curious to take a look at the final statistics, because the Vikings did a great job today on Gator Nichols. He has 15 points, 4 assists, 7 rebounds, but they made him earn it every possession. They were just all over him. Also shows the depth and the credit to Maysville, because River Valley did a great job on Maysville's best player. But the Panthers have still taken care of business.
Yeah, Rohrig's been huge here in the second half. Yeah. If he knocks this down, it'll be 15 points for him. Had 3 ginormous threes.
Yeah, and Iden early with the threes. Yeah, so guys stepped up and made plays.
Nichols with the rebound. We'll see if the Vikings call off the Dogs. They will. Here comes Gator into the front part of the gym, and let the celebration begin. If you are a fan of Maysville, you are headed back to the Final Four for the second consecutive year. The only 2 trips in program history, and they're coming in 24-25, back-to-back. Congratulations to the Panthers. We're going to take a commercial timeout. We will return with a post-game celebration. We'll have the medal awards, plus the net cutting celebration and an interview with our most outstanding player. It's all coming up here in about 2 minutes on the OH Report. Stay right where you are.
You're watching high school tournament basketball 100% live and free. Thanks to all of our generous sponsors. Please support those who support your local athletes.
You have better things to do than to job hunt or scramble to find your next great hire. So let Spherion do it. We say local is our superpower because we live and work where you live and work. We know the Mid-Ohio job market, and we're locally owned. So you won't find a partner who's more engaged and literally invested in your success. If you're ready for something better, Start with Spherion. Visit us online at midohiojobs.net or call 419-747-7479.
Every time that we walk in, we know we're going to walk into a place that's very clean, and when we walk in, we have a professional environment to come to. The reliability of Pinnacle is always on the spot. We've been with them 16 years so far. They're committed, they are professional, they are very transparent with their pricing, and they excel at meeting every goal and every need we have.
Welcome to Marion County Now, the heartbeat of our neighborhood, the fountain of our news. We're local, we're pertinent, and we're all about you. We're dedicated to keeping you in the loop, involved, and linked with the community. And the cherry on top, our service doesn't cost a dime. Marion County Now, our neighborhood, our news.
We welcome you back for post-game coverage in Athens as head coach Rodney Brown of the River Valley Vikings stepping up, and their seniors now will be accepting their runner-up award here for the 24-25 season. Congratulations to River Valley. Phenomenal season for them. Excellent run to get this far in the tournament. First time they've done it in more than 60 years here, Mark. So even though bittersweet moment right now for the Vikings, you got to look back on this with a lot of fond memories. It's been an awesome ride to be a part of, and we've been blessed to have it here on the OH Report.
Well, yeah, anytime your season comes to an end, it's always really difficult, but hopefully with some time and perspective, they'll realize how special this run was and how entertaining and how much joy they brought to so many people in the River Valley community. And you know, you look back and you did what you needed to do. You won an MOAC championship. You won only the 4th district title in school history. You advanced to the Elite Eight, first time since 1963. You did a lot of great things. You carried yourself well, did everything right. Congratulations to the Vikings on just a tremendous, tremendous season. I know the River Valley community is extremely proud of them.
Yeah, if I jump into the comments section, and I will here eventually, and just read a lot of the love that's floating in, and I'm sure for Maysville's fans as well. Got a chance to cover them for the first time last season when they took on the Shelby Whippets in the state Final Four. And it is a cool group of kids and obviously well supported, very much like the fans from River Valley. So this arena, I mean, it was like halfway full here for a Division IV game. Pretty fantastic stuff from both ends, but Gator Nichols and company, they just had what it took to get over the hump here, and this is a program that's been heading in the right direction under Coach Brown. So you got to be happy for them and what they've been able to accomplish as well.
Absolutely, and for Gator Nichols, I mean, you're able to get your team back to the Final Four on a day when you didn't make a three. He went 0 for 2, 4 of 14 from the floor, but again, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. Just the leadership and the qualities that he brings to that team. And just, again, Maysville, outstanding basketball club. They're going to get a chance to take on either Kettering-Alder or Cincinnati, Wyoming in the state semifinals.
That'll be coming up next Friday at Wittenberg College. As you see, the Panthers awarded that gold trophy for the 2nd consecutive season. Headed back to the state Final Four. Just the 2nd time in program history they've been able to accomplish that, but it comes here in consecutive campaigns. And there is the squad. Mark and I are going to step aside one more time. We'll have a commercial timeout. And when we come back, we'll have your final stats, MVP interview, and then close things out for a great week of regional and state action here on the OH Report. Stay with us.
You're watching high school tournament basketball 100% live and free thanks to all of our generous sponsors. Please support those who support your local athletes.
You have better things to do than to job hunt or scramble to find your next great hire. So let Spherion do it. We say local is our superpower because we live and work where you live and work. We know the Mid-Ohio job market, and we're locally owned. So you won't find a partner who's more engaged and literally invested in your success. If you're ready for something better, start with Spherion. Visit us online at midohiojobs.net or call 419-747-7479.
Every time that we walk in, we know we're going to walk into a place that's very clean, and when we walk in, we have a professional environment to come to. The reliability of Pinnacle is always on the spot. We've been with them 16 years so far. They're committed, they are professional, they are very transparent with their pricing, and they excel at meeting every goal and every need we have.
Welcome to Marion County Now, the heartbeat of our neighborhood, the fountain of our news. We're local, we're pertinent, and we're all about you. We're dedicated to keeping you in the loop, involved, and linked with the community. And the cherry on top, our service doesn't cost a dime. Marion County Now, our neighborhood, our news.
Sleeping on me, think it's time to wake 'em up. They been sleeping on me, think it's time to wake 'em up. You've been playing it safe, now it's time to shake it up. Playing it safe, now it's time to shake it up. So it's time to make a change. Yeah, it's time to break the chains. Yeah, it's time to bring the pain. Let them know, tell them we are not the same. I'm the one that got the flames. With my team, as you know, we come to slay. Let them know that we didn't come to play. Nah, we came to win. I'm ready for anything that they can bring. Bring it on, let me do my thing. I'm a giant, they can't move the king. If you never risk it, then you never know. If it's holding you back, you gotta let it go. You gotta give it all you got, you gotta let them know. You are on another level, you are ruthless. Switch it up, it's the new flex. Ruthless, ruthless. Time to go hard and put your game face on. Ruthless, ruthless. This is the moment movies get based on. This is the moment movies get based on. Fire in the bones, watch me fire up the songs. Let it burn 'em, burn 'em, burn 'em. Got the fire in the bones. Our desires, they become who we are. We go hard, giving up, no we're not. Yeah, the first step is showing up. Now we're here blowing up. If you never risk it, then you never know. If it's holding you back, you gotta let it go. You gotta give it all you got, you gotta let them know. You are on another level, you are ruthless. Switch it up.
Tonight's regional broadcast brought to you by all of our generous sponsors, including Premier Optometry Group. Premier Optometry helps you keep the game in focus because better vision is their purpose. Mathews Auto Group, the area's #1 dealer with over 800 automobiles currently in stock. Check out Mathews' selection at the link in the description. And ArcelorMittal, smarter stills for people and planet. They are hiring now with competitive wages and benefits. Check them out at the online database that you can see down there. But right now, we've got Mark Bollinger, and he has got your MVP, so we're going to be back with that in just a second.
Welcome back to the Postgame Show. Our player of the game, sponsored by ArcelorMittal. is none other than Kane Rohrig. And Kane, congratulations, first of all, on another regional championship. What's it mean to be headed back to the Final Four?
It means everything. This is exactly what we worked so hard for, and all summer we were doubted. Nobody thought we were going to go back, and this is exactly what it's all about.
Well, coming in, it was pretty obvious that River Valley was intent to stop Gator. I'm sure you guys have seen that all year. But what a lot of people don't understand is the depth that you guys have. So many other guys can flat out play. Tonight, you stepped up, had a big night. Just talk about, what your mindset was coming in, and then what the Vikings did to you out there on the floor.
The mindset was really just to knock down the open shot if it was there. G does a really good job of hitting people when they're open, even if he's our best player, but he still looks for everybody else and gets everybody involved. And they were just dropping, making him kick it out, and he trusted us, and we hit the shots.
Well, the Vikings did. They tried to be really physical with Gator, but as you said, he was able to get to the basket. When they rotated with their help side, you guys were wide open. Were you a little bit surprised that you continually found yourself that wide open for those corner threes?
I was a little surprised. I figured after one or two, they'd probably step out and guard it better, but they just kept making Gator give it up, and we just kept hitting it.
So, regional championship in the books, cut down the nets again. Now you're moving on to the Final Four. We're hearing probably at Wittenberg against either Cincinnati, Wyoming, or Archbishop Kettering-Alder. Regardless of the opponent, what about this team makes them so special compared to maybe last year's team?
Everybody on the team is just best friends, and outside of basketball, we do everything together, which makes us such a good team.
And I think what, again, a lot of people don't understand is most of you guys are only juniors, so this isn't really just hopefully the last run for you guys. But your experience last year, being able to go to the Final Four, how much is that going to help you guys as you get ready for this week's semifinal game?
I think it's going to help us a lot, just knowing that we've been on that stage before and we know how to handle that.
Our MVP tonight in their win over River Valley is Kane Rohrig. Had an outstanding night as the Maysville Panthers move on. They are going to the Final Four for the second consecutive year. Congratulations and best of luck.
Thank you.
Every time that we walk in, we know we're going to walk into a place that's very clean, and when we walk in, we have a professional environment to come to. The reliability of Pinnacle is always on the spot. We've been with them 16 years so far. They're committed, they are professional, they are very transparent with their pricing, and they excel at meeting every goal and every need we have.
They been sleeping on me, think it's time to wake 'em up. They been sleeping on me, think it's time to wake 'em up. You've been playing it safe, now it's time to shake it up. Playing it safe, now it's time to shake it up. So it's time to make a change. Yeah, it's time to break the chains. Yeah, it's time to bring the pain. Let them know, tell them we are not the same. I'm the one that got the flames. With my team, you know we come to slay. Let them know that we didn't come to play. Nah, we came to win. I'm ready for anything that they can bring. Bring it on, let me do my thing. I'm a giant.
Back here to wrap up our post-game show, presented by our friends over at the Mathews family of dealerships, where they do have the best selection in their area. You're looking at a regional champion headed back to the state Final Four for a second consecutive year. The Panthers with 66 points, knocking out the Vikings, who had 17 consecutive wins here tonight. I'm Brian Skowronski, Mark Bollinger back with me, and just a special group. You just heard from the MVP, Mr. Rohrig, and just said we're all best friends. We hang out with each other. We work hard. Everybody counted us out, but we knew that if we put in the work, it would pay off, and so far, so good, and they're about as close as you can get to the total accumulative goal.
Yeah, and everybody that we talked to had said that was the thing about this group. They talked about Gator Nichols not being happy with the way he played last year, that he knew he could improve so much. And it seems like it was that whole team. That was their attitude of putting in the time in the offseason and improving and stepping into new roles, and they have played it perfectly. They were absolutely outstanding tonight in this regional final victory.
Yeah, let's take a look at these final stats of the evening, presented by Mathews. And just the shooting, it was so slow for River Valley. Eventually, they were able to turn it up, and they finished the day with a reasonable shooting percentage by the end of the night. But the damage was kind of already done. You talked about just how much energy and effort it takes to overcome a 14-point deficit in the first 4 minutes of the game. They gave it their best shot, Mark, and they got pretty close on a couple occasions in the fourth quarter. But it's a lot to try to overcome a 21-point deficit.
Right, you dig yourself such a big hole. Vikings were down 21 at one point in the third quarter. And one of the things we've talked about with River Valley being so good is they go on those big runs. Credit to Maysville. The biggest River Valley run was just a 7-0 run in the fourth quarter to kind of get them back in range a little bit. But, you know, this was a game that Maysville just came out from the start and dominated. They went up 14-0. They led the entire way. You know, River Valley never got a lead tonight. And Maysville did exactly what they needed to do to take care of business in advance. That does not diminish the season River Valley had or the fight that they showed in trying to come back and make it a game in the fourth quarter.
Super fun game to watch, and both of these teams, fantastic seasons up to this point. So for the Vikings, and they're going to be disappointed in the way that they finish. We already talked about it. Obviously, a lot of smiles to go around throughout the course of this run to the second to last weekend of the tournament here, Mark. So I think we'll look back pretty favorably at this group, and pretty similar to what's going on with the Panthers. They got a lot of kids coming back. Obviously, they're going to graduate some really good ones. Chase Ebert, one of them. He was outstanding tonight with 19 points, 4 assists, and 5 rebounds. But still, the cupboard's not bare in Rodney Brown. He's got this program heading to a spot where now there's a new standard in place, and the expectation just continues to grow.
Absolutely, and, you know, it's going to be tough to replace those seniors, a special group. They were able to do some really good things the past few seasons, broke through this year with an MOAC title, first one since 2007, and yet you look to the future, and you're going to bring back 3 really good players that have a lot of varsity experience. Now it's going to be up to those other guys, the guys towards the end of the bench on the varsity team that played some JV. You've got young players that are going to be stepping in. The cupboard is not bare by any stretch of the imagination. There is talent throughout the classes at River Valley. It's just a matter of putting in the time, getting coached, and, again, trying to meet that standard.
Boy, what a week we've had here on the OH Report. It's not done. We do have a girls semifinal showdown going as Winton Woods, the number 1 team of the state, taking on Big Walnut. 2 top 10 teams going head-to-head. But for our boys coverage, it will conclude here this afternoon at Ohio University. Could not have done it without the help of all of our amazing sponsors. Big thank you to our contributions all season long from Krista Smith and the Agency Real Estate Group, along with ArcelorMittal, Mathews Auto Group, and Premier Optometry Group as well. Also want to shout out Neuromuscular Therapy by Hunter Mercer, Marion County Now, and the Pinnacle Building Services. Mark, it's a pleasure, man. Haven't got a call game with you here during the tournament in a while. It may be the whole tournament.
I don't think. Jeez. Yeah, we haven't been together for the whole tournament. So, yeah, it was fun. Unfortunately, not the result that River Valley and the MOAC was hoping for. But again, great run by the Vikings, and it was a pleasure as always.
So for Mark Bollinger and my amazing camera lady, Jory Hollenbeck, the VP of the OH Report, the true boss, I think, if you ask around, I am Brian Skowronski signing out for now. We'll see you next week. State competition on the way. Bye, everybody.